Hello, everyone. Mike Arnold here, co-founder of Path Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino. Sorry, starting early. Bit today. I have somebody come out in a few minutes. Look at my furnace. So there's going to be a shorter live stream. Just wanted to get that a shorter, earlier live stream would be better than no live stream at all. Hello, Vertical Dimension. Hey, AP's World. I don't have anything close to a NASDAQ daily double top, Rich. Howdy, Rod. Well, thank you, Vertical Dimension or Amit. You don't. I appreciate everybody who does sign up. NVIDIA earnings miss. It was gapping up a bit. Revenue, I saw beat, and I didn't see the earnings per share though yet. I did see revenue did beat. Let's see, where do we set? Hey Connor, there we go. Put call ratio at the close 1.342, second highest print of the year. Highest was during the June sell-off. It's interesting right now, but the option stuff is getting played so short term. Things change interesting, but yes, that is very accurate strategy. Friedman, good evening. Anissa. All right, let's just get to stuff. As we already talked about, NVIDIA earnings just came out. We already covered retail sales. Industrial production was a little contraction. We had Williams stuff coming out, Barr's testimony. Waller was saying he was comfortable with the 50 basis point, but it's going to stick at a higher level for longer. The 10-2 yield curve got absolutely crushed today. Just got to get through stuff really quick. Tomorrow, everything housing related is a minor with based off what's going on now. I am paying attention to the Philly Fed employment and prices paid tomorrow morning at 7:30 Central. We got Bowman speaking. Didn't schedule it with me because it's during the live stream. I don't know why they don't call me for this. Then we got Fed Jefferson at 9:40 Central. Kansas City Fed Composite and Manufacturing, seeing if it's still in contraction. That's at 10 Central, and that's about it. Mixed market map. Healthcare, some strength, but a little mixed. Healthcare plans, UNH doing well. Mega caps, Tesla selling off again. Elon was in his trial today for a compensation package. Amazon taking it a bit in the shorts. Walmart bounced back. Target got utterly destroyed, off its lows slightly, but utterly destroyed. Oil pulling back today. So you can see here with the technology, lots of profit taken today after that run up in technology. Utilities is really the only thing that rallied a bit. The yield on the 10-year still coming down, and the double bottom on the futures still going towards that first target. Fed watch 85.15. So I think we're pretty much baked in for that 50 basis point hike in December. Fear and greed index still solidly in greed. As we already talked about, NVIDIA after the close. We'll peek at that real quick. It did not have a chance to look at Cisco yet. Alibaba tomorrow. Macy's, Kohl's, minor stuff. Gonna actually interested in how Macy's is doing from a consumer point of view than Applied Materials after the close tomorrow. Let's see. So far, excuse me. The sideways correction has continued. You can see here we had our little line in the sand there, bouncing off it again, 39.63. 39.63. Looking at that, is this a double? This could be used for overnight stuff, minor in just for a corrective high, but you break below 39.63. Still focusing on that 3900 to 3912. Keep in mind, we still have the key gamma level at 4,000. At 4,000, we're trading 39.78 as of the time of this live stream. What I mentioned in the title, cycles rolling over, but remember, things can correct sideways with a slight pullback to get daily cycles back to the bottom, and Thanksgiving week in the U.S. notoriously bullish. But if we did break below that 39.63, 39.10 to about 39.30 is now the key support zone. To the upside, overnight levels 4,000, 4,003, roughly 4,010 are the key levels on the overnight. NASDAQ, also mini little double here for overnight only. 11,890, 11,918, 11,948. Looking at this, still holding up above the prior major resistance from October 25th. We do start dropping back. The next level I'm watching is about 11,635. Then do not ignore 11,565 area with the hooking up 50. It was resistance. It could be a nice little short-term support level should we pull back going into OPEX. Major support about 11,400. The Dow, sideways correction, 8 rising up. Going to be watching. This could actually be setting up to trigger 8 pushing the price by Friday. Still no close above that 62.5. I should say still no up close above that 62.5. So the key overnight is 33,758 and 33,465. Russell pulling back. This is the only thing that triggered at least a pullback pattern. Triggered the double with the targets of 1842, 1831, 1820 area. But that's just a minor little pullback, and that could even potentially take it to the bottom of the daily rotation zone. Is lower probability since it is going against that daily rotation zone. So let's peek in at NVIDIA real quick. NVIDIA post-market was back to virtually where it closed. So not much of reaction there. And this revenue was estimated 5.78, and you had them coming in 5.8. So I have it coming in line with this. Let me see. Third quarter revenue, I have estimated at 5.79, again on my other stuff, and they came in at 5.93. So they technically beat with that. They missed on EPS. They beat on revenue, missed on EPS. Sorry, just looking at my other feed. So sort of a mixed bag there. Already gave, but this is pretty much flat. If it does rotate back up, especially next week, if it gets through to weathers the earnings tomorrow during the day session, gets a pullback, I will watch for that return to that 87.5 level with the 200. It would be better reward to risk. Is that a long-term hold? Not in your life. NVIDIA is not a long-term hold with a PE of 50, close to 55. Going into what we're going to have a substantial slowdown. Okay, so anything would just be a trade for a technical reconnection with the 200 and that 87.5 harmonic. And that's only after it triggers a buy signal. There is no buy signal as of this moment. If the SPY gaps up tomorrow, the insider traders have no worries about the SEC. Why? I'm missing the context of that, Connor. NVIDIA going down now. I mean, it's at 160. It closed at 159.10. It's just trading in this range of today's candle so far. Wait, there's the conference calls, what, in about 25 minutes? Pay attention to what it does in the conference call in 25 minutes. It already's been digesting the earnings. Now it's going to be the conference call. It's going to be the reaction. They probably will not lead with that strategy. That would be a pretty safe bet. So you still have the the volatility of the call coming in. Here's notes, by the way. We'll take a look at the 10-2s, notes climbing up. Again, I think this one more so is an aggressive stop raise, but closing in on the first target and really paying attention to that first target because it's by the candle topping area. Remember, focus on key closes and opens more so than the highs or lows. And a key close was 113.16. Target 113.17.5. If it hits 113.16, though, that's a guaranteed stop raise right there. Hello, George. All right. Dollar index, still watching inside bar for today. Watching for a break above yesterday's high for a little short-term bounce, but nothing other than that. Does not have any strong pattern just yet, strong bottoming pattern just yet. So it's a play off yesterday's high. VIX, not much still going on. Little channel big thing I'm going to be watching tomorrow for to see if we roll down back through the flagging channel pattern. Other than that, not much until OPEX on Friday. Crude, this 84.35 area is getting very key. Multiple tests on that. If it does break below that, we could see a quick pop lower. Other than that, there's no play for me. This is not a double bottom, not reversing enough of a move. If it did break out above this high area, it would just be a retest of the most recent highs. What else do we have? Again, still trying to get through things quickly. Euro retesting the 200 and inside bar also. So currencies are pausing right now. Pausing, still not any reduction from overbought levels. Pound, inside bar, pause. Bitcoin, pausing, still at the 62.5 again. Nothing there. Tesla, coming down. Little gap down. Couldn't even tap the gap fill, but as I talked about, the close below 186.02, and the close right here was 186.17. So technically the patterns from the lower, but I'm using more aggressive stop levels on this. It should be 186.02 or 186.01. I just use 186. Still, the pattern is not invalidated yet. So that's where we sit. I'm just going to check with Macy's reporting tomorrow. Not a big trader by a lot. Nothing that a lot of people will follow, but it will be interesting. I just was seeing if there was any great pattern, and the only great pattern we have here, does this still qualify as a double top? Separate from levels not lining up? Yes, it does. So that's the pattern. That's the pattern with Macy's going into earnings with cycles at the top and rolling over. Potential double there. Hey, Gary. Oh, I went to go with the yield curve. I was hoping people were watching the yield curve today. Well, here's the 10-2s. Back that minus 67. Look at this. This is going to possibly hit. It's not on this chart because this data ends in 88. But I believe the lows from back in the early 80s were down around 100. Minus 100 basis points. I mean, minus 1%. Right now, still having trouble talking. We're at minus 67. I guess we could see that. Remember, what the steepening is what we worry about. We're nowhere near a steepening yet. And here is the 10-3 month at minus 43. I mean, that is pretty brutal. And from this standpoint, the 10-3 month is, approaching the COVID period. So interesting things with the yield curve right now. Other than that, there's not much to talk about. I mean, got stuff going on with everything's going to be focused on OPEX now. What does a curve pointing down mean again? The deeper it goes, it generally means that we're going to have a substantial slowdown. The deeper it goes, the bigger the potential slowdown is the way I look at it. Other people might have some different interpretations, but this is, they're still talking soft landing. I'm just not seeing it with anything we have. So, you want to get some more of what is thought about this. Tune in tomorrow and ask Bob. He'll have some great commentary on the 10-2s and all the aspects of the yield curve. Gary was hoping to get an NVIDIA cheaper. Oh, longer term, you'll have a chance to get a lot in NVIDIA a lot cheaper, Gary. I would not be rushing to buy this from a long-term portfolio. Anything would be a short-term trade. Anybody paying up here at nearly 55 P to E ratio going into what we're going is absolutely insane. Especially what's going on in crypto and how dependent on they are with a lot of other aspects. But so far, it's back up to 163. The conference call is going to be the interesting thing right now. Do I trade a yield curve spread flattener? I've already talked about what happens when the yield curve starts going back to zero. I generally play very aggressive short setups in the broad market, and then I can do stuff with patterns, but I generally I don't do a 10-2 pattern. What I do is generally individual patterns in the futures. Do you expect Intel recent lows could be broken daily time frame? And then I'm going to wrap this up just because do I suspect the daily lows could be broken? There is a very strong level here down here. I think you'll get a pullback and a retest of the lows on Intel. That's why it's still tradable around a core position. But now there's a fair amount, even still here. With that pullback just makes it so much more attractive with dividends yield. That's why I like to trade this around a core position and unwind on rallies and then look to buy some back on lower prices. But your key level, your key support area to start watching is back to about 27.95. I think if it were to get back to these lows, it is another gift, as I've talked about before. That is just a gift from a yield. It's run up also in the rotation zone, so I am planning on a retest of these lows areas personally. Remember also Micron, their water use report and everything else cutting back. These semis are Micron was pretty much down big. We're going to see, once the market tends to roll over again substantially, we could get a fair amount of downward pressure on these semis again. The safest play to me is Intel. And I put the next one that I like in the members only stuff. We had that close above. Micron was very tough to play because reward to risk was off, but it closed above, popping at 87.5 before the water usage report came out. Yep, oil. It went. Yeah, the reserves did. But the energy sector, I think, is getting a little ahead of itself unless oil really starts firming up. All right, that's where we sit for today. I will be back tomorrow morning. Sorry to cut this one shorter, but dealing with a furnace thing and don't want it to hit in the middle of a live stream since I'm the one who has to deal with it. With that, all right, still trading up post-market. Conference call for NVIDIA in 15 minutes. So I'm going to try to tune into that and see what's going on. I will see everyone tomorrow morning. Bye for now.